Oh, this is a delicious topic today, Tracy. This is morsels and yummy, like a steak sandwich with grilled onions and cheese. Maybe it's cheesesteak instead. Hold on a second. We're going to Philadelphia. It's a cheesesteak sandwich. That's what it is. This is yummy. I'm going to eat it all up with fries. You like fries, Trace?
I love fries.
You love fries. Dang it. This is the topic for today. Now, I want to just start off by saying this. Okay. I always start off with something. We're having fun. Okay. We're just having fun. If you are this worst type of client that we're talking about, have a laugh.
Have
okay.
a laugh. Yes.
But maybe change it.
Maybe change a little bit.
Maybe change a little bit.
Well, we're going to do the same thing for nail techs.
For nail techs,
we're going
too.
to switch. We're going to flip.
We're going to flip the switch.
Yes.
Son and daughters.
Yes.
We will do that in a separate episode. But today, it's about the nail client. And if you're this client... It's the Jurassic Park. You can't get in. You don't know the code or whatever it is. All right. Worst type of clients, Trace.
Greg.
Well, that would go under worst type of human being.
Oh,
so
sorry.
it's
yes,
way
it's a
bigger.
Full category.
It's way bigger. I can throw so many out there, but what is? We want to start from let's talk about the worst. What is the worst type of client? Dying to know.
The worst.
Is it the changeroo person? Is it the late person? Is it the loud person?
It's the person that doesn't show up, but it all kind of goes together. There's a lot.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
That we really don't think about sometimes as a client because we're not on the other end of it in the service industry.
Right.
So I get why maybe they don't think about it. But when you are making an appointment, it's different than showing up to a restaurant late.
Yes, yes. Completely different.
It's completely different.
Yes.
So the worst, I actually think the worst, more than showing up late, more, because I'll just get rid of them, but is the one that complains the whole service.
Oh.
It's so defeating. It's so...
Okay, so let me just understand this, though. This client shows up on time, pays well, tips well, is consistent.
Just complains the whole time.
But why, if they're coming back every couple weeks,
It's a
why are
great
they complaining?
question. And I've asked it.
Wait. But I'm genuinely confused. Like, how do they think that are they like nitpicking every little thing, or what is going on here?
Why are you doing that? That's not how my last person do it. I want this. I want them shorter. Yes,
but you're
I
the
know.
last. No, but are you talking about this is a new client coming from somebody else, or is this somebody
or you've been doing them for a while, but it's always the last nail tech.
The last
well,
time,
you know what?
the last.
Susie, I know your last nail tech, and she fired you, and you're about to get the same. But the thing is I've asked the question. I've asked it. Why do you come to me?
Yeah,
well,
if
I like your nails. Doesn't seem to.
You don't seem to like them, right?
You know, and I had one in particular, and she was actually a family friend, and she just, the whole time, and I just finished her nails that one time I had just done. And I said, listen, I'm not the nail tech for you. I don't think I'm the nail tech for you. And she actually started crying. And this person was a hardcore. She was just mean. She was just a mean person.
She started crying.
And I'm going to tell you the type of person that she is. My husband, one time, they had rentals, and he went in, and she's never going to see this, so guys, we're okay.
Rental properties.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they needed some drywall done in a bathroom, and very tiny bathroom. He went in, and he did the drywall for them, patched it.
Okay.
And it wasn't going to match exactly, so he textured the whole bathroom. Tiny, tiny bathroom. It was a half bath, like just small. Toilet, sink.
Got it.
She called up yelling at him because now she had to paint the whole bathroom. He did it for free.
Oh my
Because a family friend.
God.
So imagine, this is the type of personality. So she's very hardcore, very mean. Never seen her cry before.
But he did it for free. I know this is that's insanity. Okay, continue.
So this is the type of.
Got it.
But in their head, they don't hear it. They just don't hear it. So I just told her I'm not, and she's like, why? I don't understand. I'm like, you complain the whole time. First thing you do when you sit down is nitpick and tear everything apart. Your nails are on. You are not happy with me. So I cannot continue to do you because
Right.
it's very disheartening. It's very, I told her, I dread seeing you on my books.
Holy, did you actually say
Yeah.
that?
I said it ruins my whole day.
But did you say it?
Yes, I did say it.
Oh my God.
And she apologized.
Ruins my whole day.
She apologized. And she continued to come to me and she kept her mouth quiet. So like I always say, there's one or two things that are going to happen. You fire them or you say you're going to fire them and they change their ways and you're happy, or you fire them, get rid of them and you're happy.
Did she ever go back to complaining, or was like never complain again?
No, I had the upper hand at that time.
Yeah.
It's one of, So you ask, why are they that way? They don't hear it.
Yeah.
They do not hear it and they don't know what it's doing to you. No, guys, clients, if you have a complaint, please let your nail tech know.
Yes.
If there's something like is bothering you, like I want my nails more narrow.
Yeah, that's not what we're talking about.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
Talk about it. But it's, and the client that's like the whole process of, well, I don't want it bumpy. I know. I'm fine. I'm getting there. Let me get there. And I always ask you at the end if you're happy. But I think that's why I don't think they hear it in their own head of what they're doing.
And we're not talking about, this is different. We're not talking about like if you have a legitimate like issue or complaint or something happen, you should let your nail tech know. We're talking about
and there's nice ways
to complain, of course. And be like, gosh dang it, you like of
you
course
do
not.
this every time.
You smell too.
Bye.
Of course, we're talking about somebody where it's consistently over a couple weeks where they come in and it's just like just complain. It's like, stop, dude, stop. Like, I can't take it.
I'm not somewhere where I have to take that.
Yeah,
We
correct.
do not have to take that. And I always say, if there's a client that you look at and they're on your books and you would pay them not to come in,
it's time for them to go.
Time for them to go.
Yeah.
When you can get there, sometimes we eat a little crow.
Well,
for a while.
I was just gonna say, like, this is like when you're building your business. You know what I mean? I've been through this too. You've seen it with distributors where I've had to just shut up and take it.
Suck it up and drink at night.
You suck it up, drink at night. I've had to deal with, certain distributors that were horrible. I mean, Tracy, not only distributors, but you saw me go through where there were certain vendors that were giving us a certain product where I had to sing and dance and do my little tap dance and what do you need me to do?
Like they're doing you a favor by giving them money.
Yeah. It was.
They had you over the barrel.
They completely had me. They had all the leverage and all the advantage, and I did it until we didn't need it anymore, and it was like, obviously now we don't, and it's a completely different story. If you have to do that because you need money for the time being, obviously do what you got to do, But as you build your book, when when it's like, oh, I have somebody to replace you, well, then you replace them and you move on. Yeah.
But also if you're showing up late, guys, it's not cool. And like I said, it's not showing up to a restaurant late. Even if you have a reservation, they give you these buffers. It's not the horrible thing. We are on a time schedule.
That's right.
I don't think a lot of people realize all the stress we're dealing with in a day and how much 10 to 15 minutes can throw us off.
It backs up your whole day.
It just snowballs. And then you got that client that's walked in who is on time that's just staring at you, staring through your soul, and you can just feel it. You're just like, so that's not cool. Calling all the time and canceling, that's not cool. This is how we support our families. This is how we make a living. You got to think about it's not... It's a different industry.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And these are consistent repeat offenders is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We're saying look, if you have to cancel or if something comes up or
I've had to cancel,
do what you got to do.
I've shown up late to my hairdresser.
Definitely.
Freaking out, the traffic. All that
it happens.
We have, and sometimes we're going to be late. So have some grace period, grace with your clients, so
Yes.
they'll have grace with you. But another big one for me is, please, guys, just talk about appropriate things because it's so awkward for us. It is. and you're just, again, especially if you're not open in communication, you can sense the other clients tensing up and the other texts, and you're just like, I don't want to talk about this. This is so awkward. Please stop. Or just letting the foul language go. It's just, you got to think about other people. It's not, I know you're paying us. I know you're paying us. And so therefore you maybe feel like you have the right, but it doesn't give you the right to make people feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, there's a thing with the nail industry where customers, they're like, oh, but I love talking to my nail tech. It's like a therapist, right? We have this joke. It's like nail techs are like therapists too, because they sit there and they're listening. But it's not really like a therapist, because you're in a public space where, like, when you go to therapist, you're in a room, it's you and the person, and you let it all rip. Everything, your deepest, darkest, all the things that you
holding hands, you're feeling close.
You're absolutely. A nail tech, though, some might be in their own studios, but still, they're not therapists, like, in the end. So they don't maybe want to hear about the gnarly stuff.
They're just
yes.
TMI.
Yes.
TMI. Don't put them in that spot.
And it is, at some point, if you're in that position as a nail professional, you're going to have the conversation, right? Like, hey, like, how that's a tough one.
Awful.
How do you have that conversation,
You have to let it rip. And in a nice way, you can kind of do the ha 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 funny, try that, see, hey, not everybody in that, kind of, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just have to stop and go, listen, I know you're cool with everything, love you, but I can tell it's making some people feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to, I'll be careful. You be careful.
Yeah, that's great.
Just
that's
put
great.
yourself in with it.
Yes,
and hopefully,
hey, what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I think we have to not do that.
People are listening.
Yes, yes. You got to try that route, and then if it does continue, ultimately, and have you ever had to let a client go because of that? Really? Like, because they just wouldn't stop?
I did not want to know about their threesomes.
Oh my God.
And all that stuff. And
what?
There were some other things I won't repeat that she told me, and the last straw was something that she thought was hilarious about something she had, but she doesn't tell people. And I just called her and said I no longer can. I no longer. Fortunately, she was getting fiberglass. I just told her I no longer do fiberglass, and that's all she wanted. So it was an easy way out.
Yeah.
I chickened out, y'all.
Look, you still took initiative, and you're not doing fiberglass, so like, you can't do these services anymore. In the end, if you have to have the conversation, you can say, like, look, I can't meet your needs, unfortunately, anymore. It's just not, I'm making a lot of changes in my business. I can't really go into detail, but I have to make changes. I can't accept you as a client anymore. I'm so sorry. But maybe you can find somebody, that's probably one of the better ways.
Someone else that probably will be perfectly fine. There's a tech out there for everybody.
There's a tech out there for everybody, 100%.
But you don't have to tolerate it. You don't have to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And so.
And is there any, those kind of your top three? I think those three.
Those are really the top. And again, I loved my clients. I respected my clients. I always call it a mutual respect. I respect their money. I respect their time. And, they respect my nails, kind of thing. So you just have to have a mutual respect. And once you lose that a little bit, it can get very awkward.
Did you ever have an issue with a client that just had troubles paying consistently? Because that we've had not our direct customers, but I'm talking like in the past, we've had distributors where they're on a it's called net 30, where you get the products, but you pay, your money's due in 30 days. It's very standard with distribution like agreements. And so that there's quite a few that we would have troubles collecting money, and like, it used to drive me absolutely crazy. Did you ever have that with clients, some clients?
Yeah, especially when I first started, it was checks. Remember checks?
Dude,
everybody wrote a check. No one paid, so it would be like, I'm going to write you this check, but I can't, don't cash it till next week. And here's the thing. Sometimes we're okay with that. but you need to tell us ahead of time.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we would rather you come in and get your service done, and that way you don't get too far out and it doesn't mess up our schedule. But that's our decision. That's the tech's decision, whether they want to do that or not.
Right.
Do not come in, get your service done, and then say you can't pay.
Yeah.
That ain't cool. That's actually stealing.
Right.
You're taking. You know what's funny? My rent's due today.
Right.
And I don't get to do that.
Yeah.
So nails are not a heart. They're not a kidney. You can live without it.
Right.
And it's not my obligation, because people, I've heard some weird things, but, well, I feel better when I have them and you should want to help me. And no, I'm sorry. No.
This is a business again.
It's a business. And nails are not a necessity.
Right.
We're not talking about me understanding that you need that food and that's how you're going to survive that day. It's nails.
Yeah, exactly. And I would imagine today, everything's, most transactions are now electronic, credit cards, debit cards. So I would imagine it's probably less, but you can still have situations where your credit card, maybe it's maxed out or it's not going through, it's getting canceled. And you can't, if you have that client where you're having issues with, consistently, again, not great. And you should probably...
And here's
get them off your books.
There's not excuses like there used to be.
Yeah.
I forgot my checkbook. I forgot cash. I forgot my credit cards. Oh, really? Well, there's Zelle. There's Venmo. There's this. There's always a way to get paid.
Do you have your phone? Mm-hmm. You can Zelle me. You can Venmo me.
Yep.
Exactly. 100%. These are great. I think, again, if you're this client, just take it with
food for thought.
Food for thought.
It's a little bit of a different industry.
Yes.
And sometimes you don't understand it.
Exactly. So hopefully... we gave you some better understanding. Thanks, Trace.
Subscribe channel now. Subscribe channel now.